Hi everyone, how are we doing? Radiant Builds here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to build a dental course just like this. If you enjoy the videos I make, please do think about subscribing down below. It really does go to help what I do on this channel. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. Okay guys, first thing you're going to want to do is have your wall built up to the height where you obviously want to start your dental course. And in this case it's going to be sort of an imitation of a garden wall, that kind of height, something along those lines. Also, what you're going to want to do is measure the width of your wall. Now, generally speaking, most metric bricks are 102.5 mil. I'm using reclaims, so they vary in size. Like for example, that one's 105 and this one's 110 mil. If you're using imperial, then again that size is going to be different as well. You're probably looking at sort of 4 inches, 115 mil maybe, depending on the brick. So first off, measure your brick. And then from there, you're going to want to add on 28, 30 mil. I wouldn't suggest going any more than a 30 mil for a dental course. It looks a bit odd, and also you might encounter some problems in regards to tipping. Because once we have our dental course in like so, this is obviously the out. I'll show you like this. It's going to go in and out like so. And often what you do on top of that is you have a brick on top of that. Now you can go flush with it and you can step it out, but like I say, with that 28 mil you don't want to go any more, because even that's tipping slightly, so you want to be wary of that. But I would suggest 28, 30 mil is pretty much your maximum for a dental course. Plus like I say, aesthetic wise it doesn't look quite as good, I don't think, if you go too much more. Okay, so what you do is you cut your bricks. These are 140 mil, because like I say, you add on that 30 mil from the 110, so mine are 140 mil. Yours might be a bit bigger or a bit smaller depending. And then you also want to snap some headers, 100 mil, 102 mil deep. And what I like to do is I like to just place them all out, just to make sure they all fit and they're all good, because when it comes to things like this, you don't want to get in the middle and find out that they don't fit. So I like to do that. Generally you're okay because all the bricks are uniform, but in my case, like I say, I'm using reclaims, so I wanted to make sure it fit before I started making this video. So we got these all fit in. I'm not going to lay them out now because we're just going to get laying. Okay, and one other point I would like to say, this is a bit of a personal preference, but I find it much easier in the long run. When it comes to placing where you want your bricks to go, I like to have my bricks stepping in over the joint. I just find it easier to point up. Now it's completely personal preference. You don't have to do it that way. You can have it this way, and some people might find it easier pointing it that way. Like I say, personal preference. I like having it this way. Plus, I just like how it looks. So what we're going to do from here, as you can see, I've got a 140 cut here, and then we have a queen closer also cut at 140, because what you want to do is you want to have that bond, so you're going from stretcher bond to essentially header bond. So you need a queen closer just to make sure you get that brick over that line like so, over that joint like so. So what I've done is I've done that at both ends. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in at both ends, and then we're going to set a string line up. There's a few things I want to say about the string lines, and we'll go from there. So what I'll do is I'll quickly pop these two on the ends and we'll go from there. Right, so once you're done here, I would suggest letting this go off a little bit, and also putting a header in here, the smaller one in there. But for the sake of this video, I am just going to put a brick on like so. When you put the line on, it's got something to grab to. Now I put it on like so, just to be able to get that line nicely without having to worry about the brick going flying off. But like I say, I would suggest letting it go off just a little bit. If you don't have time to do that, then obviously do what I'm doing here. Just a couple of bricks on the ends like that. And then you want to get your corner blocks, get your lines, and pull them out from there. Now I do get a lot of people asking me what sort of mix I use for the mortar. The mix I'm using today is just very light sand, the sand that I used on the house build. If you haven't seen my house build series, then there's a link down in the description. I build a whole house completely by myself, and I'm using that sand because at the moment, during the COVID-19 lockdown, sand is sort of a bit of a commodity that is quite rare to find, but luckily I've got some. Anyway, so I'm using that just a 5-in-1 mix, 5 parts sand to 1 part lime, and that works perfectly well. And I'll tell you what, it's a nice difference from the darker muck I was using before. It's come up quite nice. I really think the colour really does suit these bricks. Oh, and also I have ordered some different bricks, some wire cut bricks, some nice straight bricks. So I'll be doing a few builds with those, just for a bit of a change of pace from these bricks. Okay, so from this point, what we do is we just follow along. We don't follow the line just yet, because you pop the brick in first, the cut brick in at the back, and then you use the line to follow the next brick along, the corbelled out one, the stepped out one. In regards to these bricks behind, use a level. That's a bit too long. Use a level to level it up and make sure that is in line with the brickwork below. And basically you run that all the way along, and there's your corbel. So what we'll do is we'll just go along a few from here. Now, before I get going, I did want to say something about the lines. I've got the line on the top arris of the brick at the moment, because the rule of thumb is if your wall is eye level or below, put the line on the top arris. If your dental course is at eye level or above, put the line on the bottom arris, because obviously standing up you're looking down on it, you're not really going to see any discrepancies from the bottom. However, if you're looking up at it, you're going to see the discrepancies at the bottom, so you want the good side at the bottom. So eye level and below, put the line on the top arris, as I have here. Eye level and above, have the line on the bottom. Now when you put the line on the bottom, it's a little bit more tricky to get it on there, but a little bit of practice and you should be able to get there. Okay, so from here, I believe that is everything I needed to talk about, so we'll just go from here. If you are putting a brick on top, and you're putting a brick on top straight away, I would suggest doing the same thing as we did when I was talking about the drop corbel. If you haven't seen that video, Bricklaying for Beginners playlist down in the description. You have it at a slight chamfer. This is obviously accentuated, exaggerated, but you have it at a fraction above the line, so that when you put the course on top and tap it down, it will tap it down nice and level. So you can have it at a slight chamfer, but in this case, we're just going to put it through. Actually, no, do you know what? I will have it at an ever so slight chamfer, so when we put the brick on top, it will tap down, but I'm not going to go too mad with it, just going to have a little bit. Okay, so with all that being said, let's lay a few bricks. If I think of anything in the meantime, I will let you know. Oh, and to all of those who have noticed, I don't know if you can see it in this video, a lot of people in the past were going on and on saying my boots were rubbish. I bought myself a brand new pair of boots, a nice pair of Timberland Pros. This is not sponsored by any way, shape or form. I actually bought these out of my own money. So for those of you who are interested, I've got a picture of it over on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Rodian_builds. Have a look over there. There's quite a lot of behind the scenes stories and things like that I do in between the videos that I do here. So go and follow me on Instagram. My wife has just turned up to watch me build this. Say hello, Holly.
Hello, Holly.
There you go. You can't see her. She's in a dressing gown, just off camera.
Living that quarantine life.
Yeah, living that quarantine life. Bye, Holly.
Yeah.
Holly says goodbye. A lot of you are really enjoying the vlogs that we're doing. If any of you haven't seen the past couple of vlogs we've done, again, playlist linked in the description. Oh, and also while I've got you here, the last few days, if you want to pick up any RBXK merch, not including the Off the Trail t-shirts, they are not going to be stopped, but anything RBXK, because we've passed 10,000 subscribers, we're past 20,000 actually. So I'm going to stop the RBXK line of merch, because like I say, it was sort of released to celebrate passing 10,000 subs. But yeah, if you want some RBXK merch, there is a link in the description to the store. If you use the code APR10 at checkout, you will get 10% off anything store-wide. So go and check that out before the 30th of April, because that will be the last time you will be able to get any RBXK merch. So yeah, link in description. Anyone have any ideas what we can do with Boris, my old boots? For those of you who are new here, my old boots were named Boris because I didn't want to get rid of them, and my thought process was if I gave it a bit of a soul, no pun intended, then you all wouldn't want me to get rid of them. But because I was being a tight git and didn't want to buy a new pair of boots, but it turns out those boots really did start hurting my feet, and they were letting the water in. They just weren't fit for purpose anymore, so I bought myself new boots. So yeah, what should we do? Do we want to immortalise Boris? Put him on a pedestal or something? Ideas in the comments, please, because I feel slightly attached to Boris. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Or should I just bin him? Who wants to keep a dirty old pair of boots lying around? Let me know. Put the last one in, and we have our dental course. I'll put another course across the top, point it up, and come back and look quite nice, I think. I do like a dental course, I must admit. With a Flemish bond and a dental course, oh man, garden walls, you can make some lovely looking garden walls. Yeah, it's quite a nice little effect. The dental course came from because they sort of look like teeth. I sometimes call it denture course because, well, denture, dental, in my opinion it's the same thing, but it's actually called a dental course. And there we go. There's your dental course. Okay. I'll set a couple of bricks on each end and run through another course on top, and we're looking pretty good then. There we go guys, that is how you build a dental course. I finished it off on the top with an extra course going along like so. Now, earlier in the video I did say to have the indented headers over the top of a joint. Now I made a mistake there. I got it swapped around. I was supposed to say that you want the ones poking out to be over the top of the joints, because the ones above it are a lot easier to joint up when you've got them straight over the protruding header. I've done it the wrong way. So there's a lesson for you. Have the protruding ones over the top of the joint. So it makes the jointing up at the top a lot easier. Because when you've got your jointing iron and you rub down, generally the bottom of the joint falls out. But whereas if you've got the header below it and you rub down, it doesn't. So it's a hell of a lot easier. It's just a little tip there. So anyway, it's a good thing I did it this way. I can show you what it looks like and it being a pain. So I would suggest doing it the other way. Have these ones poking out on the ends. You might have to have them coming along a little bit further. It depends how you're gonna how your wall's gonna look, but I would definitely advise having the protruding headers over the joint rather than over the brick. So one mistake there. There we go, I think we'll leave it there for today. Please do leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you aren't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Remember, bricks laid, wages paid, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ta-ra.